Hi friends, hi family, and thanks again for tuning in to another message through Take the Word at its Word. Now this channel is called that. Take the Word at its Word, and it's exactly what it says on the tin. If the Bible says it, if the Word says it, just take that at its word, obey, and then you will see the results of obedience. Today I want to talk about our spirit as opposed to our soul and our body. Now, unfortunately for us in the natural, we had two recent loved ones depart to go and reside in heaven with the Lord. Now, when it happens here, obviously for many people, we respond according to how we feel about what we call losing those loved ones, and that's perfectly understandable. So what I'm hoping today to do in this brief message is to get us to a place of understanding that eases any grief that we might be going through for the departure of our loved ones, those who have known Christ in life. Because what God taught me was the understanding of the difference between our spirit, our soul, and our body. And while I got that understanding, it was then much easier for me to process the concept of earthly death, which is the physical retirement or expiration of the body. So I'm hoping now, because I know that death is something that people struggle with, because you are in the natural losing the presence, the physical presence of somebody you love, somebody you're used to having around you, somebody that really, if you sit down and think about it, you dread the concept of life or the thought of life without them. And I went through these processes as well before losing these loved ones. But I came to a place very, very quickly, even before their loss, that to understand that actually they haven't died, because they are spirit. We are spirit. So I said, Lord, well, expound on that for me. What do you mean they haven't died? Well, your spirit never dies, and we are actually spirit beings housed in a body that have a soul. So let me explain that a little bit further. There are three elements to every being. There is a spirit, there is a soul, there is the body. The spirit is that invisible element that is actually the substance, the thing that we are. We are spirit beings. Now, we couldn't walk around in our invisible state because we wouldn't be able to interact with the world and with each other. So God then puts us in a body. That's why we are clothed, we are housed in a body, simply because we can't walk around as invisible beings. But even without the body, in the absence of the body, we are still real. We are absolutely real. We are spirit. The spirit can exists as a fully completed whole being, even in the absence of the body. The body cannot exist without the spirit. The body is just a vessel. It's a house. It's a container. So it has no life, no existence without the spirit being inside it. The body's only purpose is to just clothe us, to house us, to give the spirit somewhere to live, somewhere within it can operate and therefore interact here on earth with other beings, with other spirits that are housed in bodies. I hope this is making a bit of sense for you. Let me continue and try to make further clarification. So, in the beginning, when God said he made us in his image, considering that we all look different, then he can't possibly be talking about our physical image. Otherwise, God would be quite confused. And we know that's not the case, because you don't look like me. I don't look like you. Even twins look different. So therefore, he can't be talking about our physical body. Also, God doesn't have arms and legs and limbs and the different facets that make up a body. God is a spirit. So when God refers to us as being made in his image, he's referring to us being made in as spirits, just as he is a spirit. And then we have a soul. Now, the soul is a composite of our mind, our will, which is what we choose to do, the modus operandi of our choices, our will, and our emotions, which is our five senses. Our seeing, our sight, our hearing, our smelling, our feeling, our touching, our emotions. And many of us, unfortunately, only operate through the realm of the soul, our five senses. So when the Bible refers to carnality, it's talking about us operating through our five senses, relating to the world simply through our five senses, our emotions. That's what being in the flesh or being carnal looks like, operating through our five senses. So then God explained further to me, so you have a spirit, which is who you are. This spirit never dies. It lives on its own, independent of the body. It is you. It is the being you are. We are spirit beings, full stop. The only reason we can't walk around as spirits is because, as I said before, we can't walk around as invisible beings here on earth trying to interact with physical beings. So God's put us in a physical body so that we can interact and get on in the earthly realms. When we get to heaven, we won't need our physical body. That's why it expires. But our spirit will continue to live on. And then, being spirits that is housed or clothed in a body, we have a soul. So we have now that entity, that capacity to have a will, have a mind, and have emotions. So those are the things that we operate through. Now, the spirit never dies, as I said. It lives on. So it's up to us to use our will to choose how we're going to live on after our body expires. We either live on up there in heaven, or we live on down there in hell. I know that sounds candid and harsh and frank, but it's the truth. Take the word at its word. So it's important, while we're housed in our body and we have our soul in operation, that we use our will to make the right choices. Our soul, which is a composite, as I said, of our will, our mind, and our emotions, also has a lot of influence over our lives. Whatever we amplify the most, our soul or our spirit, is what will manifest in our body. So in this video, I hope we've understood that there are three parts that compose a human being. There's a spirit, as I said, which is us, which is the whole person, real, but can't walk around invisible. So it's housed in a body, and we have a soul. In our next video, I want to explain more about those three facets of existence and how the world and God communicates to us and through us through them, and that how they can then impact our physical realm and our actual reality. So please join us again for another message in that, guys, from Take the Word at its Word. Look forward to seeing you soon. Until then, stay blessed and be sure God is your source.